Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is the third show of the day, and I know you're not tired yet, my lovely viewing public. I am delighted to have on today Steve Rad and Adam Piggott, the Tango Pig. How the devil are you, sirs?
Very good.
Good morning, Simon.
Very nice to see you.
All.
Good, good. Sorry we're late, people. We were talking about whether Scotch eggs do constitute a substantial meal or not, and that was a hot debate. Maybe we'll deal with that again at the end if we've got time.
Our viewers may just prefer that conversation, Simon. I think we should really hatch it out.
Don't start giving them ideas. They're a brutal bunch of pests anyway. There, so good, guys. This is ones I love. These ones. This is obviously Openbrix and InventoryBase talking about getting together and launching a nice partnership. So we'll come on to that in a second. For those people that don't know you, though, could you Steve, just give a brief intro, what you're about and what InventoryBase is about, and then we'll come on to Adam.
Yes. Hello, everyone. So my name's Steve Rad. I'm the managing director of InventoryBase. InventoryBase is a platform for managing, producing, scheduling property inventory reports, property inspection reports, and all types of property reports, actually. So with the partnership with Openbrix, we're actually launching InventoryBase Workstreams integration. And InventoryBase Workstreams is a network where any property manager, landlord, or even service provider can outsource and find a local professional to visit a property and conduct a service on their behalf, such as an inventory or an inspection, who's local to the property, vetted and approved by us, and therefore has the relevant insurances and aptitude to produce a professional report for that. And so the network essentially handles the whole transaction from end to end in sourcing and working with a supplier.
Spot on, brilliant, lovely, straight to the point, elevator pitch, great. Right, there's Mr. Tango Pig. You've been set a high bar there.
I have. How can I follow that? Very succinctly put. Yeah, I'm Adam Piggott. I'm the CEO of Openbrix, and we're more than just a portal, which I've obviously been getting the message out there. We don't just do listing; we do lots of things. You know, the foundation of what we do is the portal, because we needed key reference points. But actually, the value at the moment for agents is in our partnerships. And InventoryBase is a prime example of what I think is a really good partnership. It works really well on our platform, but we need the portal to be able to connect those reference points together. And so people say to me, "Oh, you're going to get me leads." Well, actually, at the moment we're not going to get many, but we're going to bring you a whole host of really cool stuff. And as we know, revenue streams. But the link with InventoryBase is one I think it's a really practical partnership. The level of integration we've done together is such that it's very simple for an agent to use. And of course they can earn a small percentage as well, thanks to the deal that Steve and I have done. And as just to reiterate, we don't take a cut of that. Steve will back me up on this. Openbrix charges nothing for this. We don't take any of the commission. And we don't have a side deal with between Steve and myself. So it's a legitimate, really cool partnership, and we're very happy. It's very practical. And as I come from a lettings background largely, inventories, any process that could simplify the whole inventory process, I was all for. So when I saw what InventoryBase was doing, I thought, oh, this is so overdue. We really need.
Is that where it came about then, Adam? What will give us the background? I always like to get that kind of eureka moment, because I think it tells you how it works.
No, it was very technical. I stalked him. So now I'm
been there.
Actually, you know what triggered on me with what you guys were doing is you mentioned, I think it was the keyword MLS, and I used to live in California, and I used to I wasn't too much in the property market back then, as we discussed numerous times, Simon. But I got that, and I understood that, and I felt, and obviously working in America as well with our company, we understand the benefits of MLS. And the UK rightly so, is lacking on something like that. So I think it's an enormous opportunity to get in on that.
The MLS is we have actually been sort of talking about it for probably a little bit too long now. Over the last few months, it's ready to go. We're actually kind of going to wait till January to get this out, because I just think the timing. I think it's about that time in the new year where people start thinking about how they could perhaps collaborate, and the choice is, it's not all in or nothing. You can just put in whatever properties you want. You can pick and choose, and you have the complete control. But I think in the new year, it's going to be, I think it's going to be useful. And we're building a tutorial at the moment, which is slightly more complicated than we thought. It's a simple concept, the MLS, but because we're not used to it in the UK, it was we need to do a bit of a tutorial with it. So that's what we're working on. That's been a delay, and I think, you know what, let's just wait till January. We'll push it out. But back to InventoryBase. Yeah, no, I'm from my perspective, inventories were a bit of a nightmare. They had to be done in lettings, and so the fact that Steve has simplified the whole process, and it's I think it's a great platform. So I fully support it, and absolutely when I saw it and Steve and I had our first chat, I mean, it wasn't a question of, I think we both saw the value, didn't we, to be fair?
Yeah, there was definitely a mutual interest in what each other were doing, wasn't there, from a technical perspective? So it makes sense.
Your techie eyes locked across the table. You said,
exactly,
we need to be doing this.
Love at first tech.
It's weird. I find myself CEO of a tech company when I can barely turn my PC on. But I know it's a bit like, people know. I know how to drive my car, but I don't know what's under the bonnet. But as long as it does what it's supposed to do.
Okay. Look, we've got some really, really insightful questions flowing in now. So I want to just deal with a couple of those. We've got Sean Hemming Metcalf here. Depends on the size of the Scotch egg. You couldn't. That's absolutely spot on.
Guess that was coming.
We were pontificating whether it needed salad on the side or anything else. How many constitutes it? The size of the Scotch egg is clearly there. So she then follows up though with again with an important one. Of course, is we kind of all know about this. In terms of what is an MLS, Warwick Swift, just to prove his name, jumped in straight away to highlight that it's a multi-listing service. Who's going to take on the explanation though, trying to explain it simply?
Yeah, I'll happy to do that. Really, it's a way of agents working together. So at the moment, an agent has to compete with other agents to get the instruction, and many agents, I think a minority, but many agents kind of overvalue property because they drop their fees, because there's almost like there's this race to the bottom at the moment, which I really want to try and help and stop. But so. And then of course we know the stats that only 40 or 50% of the initial instructed agent get to sell the property. I mean, 50-60% ends up being sold by the second agent because you haven't met sort of followed through with the sale. Yeah. So what the MLS does, it says it allows you to go to your client as an agent, to go to your client and say, look, we've got this new tool. So multi-listing service means I can share your property in several of my networks. I've got my local network where I work with 4 or 5 other agents in the locality. We're going to split the commission, which I'll allow one to go on Rightmove, I'll allow one to go on Zoopla, one to go on Openbrix, and one to go with whoever. And you agree your split share. And that might be the only property you put on the MLS to that network. Equally, if you've got Rapunzel's castle or something that you can't sell, it's a really unique property, put it on the whole of MLS, put it on the whole of national coverage. And what the thing the MLS does, which I think is great, it brings in overseas buyers, because I've probably got as much interest from overseas agents as I have from UK agents. They want to join, and they're basically saying, so if we join, can we earn commission selling UK property? And I go, yeah, you can, absolutely. So I think it's a tool to increase your fee if you're an agent. Go out and increase your fee, set up your network. If you've got 4 or 5 agents that you like in your locality, set up that network. If there's a 5th and a 6th that you really can't stand, don't include them. You can have as many networks as you like. Well, we all know there's some dodgy agents out there. Well, don't involve them. So you can share your property with who you choose. Yes, there's an option to put it on the whole of the MLS, so you could get the overseas agents in and stuff. But you don't. So as a sub agent, you go in and claim that property. But of course, as the primary agent, you have to agree. So if someone claims it, you have to agree.
And we don't have to worry about this as a proof of concept here, do we? Because realistically, Lonres have been doing this very successfully within the N25 for a long period of time now. But this is the point about this is opening this up for the whole of the country, isn't it?
It is opening up the whole of the country, but of course, overseas buyers. That's the key thing.
But I think it's important, I mean, obviously at the moment it's a hot market. Where Rightmove recently obviously said there were 14% more buyers, obviously, than this time last year and everything else. But we know it switches back, and when and at that point, and certainly as you've highlighted, whether it's Rapunzel's castle or prime property in general, finding those buyers for that part of the marketplace is really challenging, and that's why I think it's worked so successfully within the M25 to date. But of course, that's opening up across the country now, isn't it? With prime property markets developing all over the place.
Yeah, no, it does, and it's going to be good. But it gives the agents the control, and it's not like a traditional MLS anywhere else in the world. It is unique. It's quintessentially British. It works for the UK market. It makes the primary agent has full control. And of course, we link with incredible partners as well. So Openbrix is really rapidly becoming a network for people to transact with transparency and freedom. So when with going back to the partnership which InventoryBase has joined, it just means that the amount of sort of level of integration we've done together, when an agent puts their property on and wants to pair a consumer to that property, and they're setting up the sort of journey, the onboarding journey. Have you gone, Simon?
Hello.
Was I boring you? But it just means the level of integration is such that when the agent ties in with InventoryBase, there's so much information that's been pre-populated. It's kind of it made the job done. It's great.
And you've got this sort of, obviously the buy to rent market coming in, the property investors looking for deals, purchasing a investment property, and then what's next is the rental process, right? So which is where we're perfectly primed for. Of course, the integration is primarily at the moment lettings focused. Obviously, it's for getting inventories produced, but of course there are there's definitely more activity in the pre-purchase inspections market now going on. Obviously, you've got the level 1, level 2 home buyer reports, which people are using our software to produce now. So as we go, there will be more crossing the sales and lettings barrier. But from a lettings side of things, obviously, with people coming in to Openbrix and they're looking for that property investment, and then they're flipping that obviously into a buy-to-let rental. The whole journey is there then within Openbrix, including those letting focused partners as well. And I think we were talking about this, Adam. The great thing about what you're doing and partnering with companies like us and finding the right companies to partner with is all of us together collectively are going to continue to evolve our solutions in the market and our products in the market. And the best companies, I always identify the best companies as those companies that are working on their product regardless of whether they have to, whether they're being told to or not. Is the continuing to develop and evolve and build value and innovate. And of course, that's what we've been doing. And that's why, we won awards with that, is because we continue to fix things that aren't broken and explore what can be done with that. And I think this is a really, this is right there in what we're so passionate about, which is exploring what can be done and connecting solutions together. Really looking forward to what comes of it.
That's very exciting. And how's the partnership going to work in principle then?
So from a technical perspective, I'll hand over to you, Adam, from the other side. From a technical perspective, it's very simple. Obviously, with work streams, you go onto a booking form and you fill in information. You fill in all the same information, obviously, about the property, about yourself, and about the service that you need and when roughly you may need it. Obviously, there's payment information you put in there. And then the next step is really then your job is advertised on the network, and you have a channel, if you will, a window where you can see those bids, see those sample reports, all the different suppliers that are saying, I can do this job for you. I can't do it on the date that you've asked for. Here's the date that I can do it on. Here's my price. Here's my sample reports, insurance documents, etc., accreditations. And so they won't need to leave Openbrix to essentially interact with that system, nor will they have to repetitively repeat all the information they're typing in about themselves and about various things like that. So they'll click a button, whether it's on the property that literally says, and I love how Openbrix have done this, the pull-in buttons that just say book an inventory clerk or book an inspection. And those buttons essentially give you then access into the form that's mostly populated for you. And it's just about really clicking I agree to the terms and submit. And then you're still obviously within the platform and you're receiving, it's a kind of a set and forget service, right? So everyone needs to work more asynchronously, I think, as well going forward. And this is one of those, this helps with that. Book it, set it, forget it, and it will get delivered to you when it's done. And you still have direct access with the supplier through the software, without having to circumnavigate the software. So it's all right there.
I think that was so well said. I think you should. I want to give you a job there, Steve. That's brilliant. I'll tell you what it kind of is. If you imagine the old days of just when people used to text using Messenger. Yeah. So between people, you'd have to, if you were trying to organise something, you'd text one person, then you'd text another, and then you'd have to get back. What Openbrix is effectively is a large WhatsApp group. So when you've selected your group of people, then there's a whole load of information that just gets passed between, 2 or 3 parties, but it's transparent to everyone else in that group. If you're not in that group, you're not going to see it. It's all secure. But so the agent can see the fact that the inventory company has been in touch with the consumer, and that's all been organised. And it's just as Steve said, it's kind of like a one-stop shop. I think the biggest challenge Openbrix has is trying to tell people that, look, we're not just a portal, and we get just lumped in as a new portal, and that's because we have to have the foundation of the portal, but it's certainly not what the value of Openbrix is. The value of Openbrix is connecting people like InventoryBase to the agents and the consumers. That's what we do. That's how we.
Well,
it's a hard word. It's a portal. Portal's been very one-dimensional, hasn't it, until now? So we need to find a new word.
It has an instant kickback, doesn't it, from a certain demographic of age? Oh, not another portal. That's literally a refrain you will hear the time. And so it does need, because you need to be able to make your point. But ultimately, that's also the badge that they will most closely recognise it. I don't know whether platform's the right one, but platform probably doesn't mean much to an agent anyway. So, well, Adam, you wouldn't be the first, would you, that is struggling to obviously do it, because with new things, they don't have names straight away, do they?
It's funny. I mean, when, as I said, I think the last time we spoke, Sam, when I first got involved in Openbrix back in 2018, it was just going to be a community-owned listing portal, but we've pivoted because we've realized what technology can do. And I've got a couple of NDAs on the table. I cannot wait for 2021.
Just hold them up to the screen. You won't have said anything.
But we've got some seriously exciting stuff. And what we're bringing to the table is going to bring more value to the likes of InventoryBase. We've got quite a lot of partners who are on our system now. The integration's great. We've got about another dozen joining us over the next sort of 2-3 weeks. And what's going to be really good is the plans we've got for 2021 are going to bring so much value to all of those partners. I can't tell them, which is really frustrating. But we've got some really cool stuff.
Good. Well, that's spectacular. So
I'll hit you up about that after, Adam.
talk us through the benefits, the main benefits you see the agents being able to get. I mean, you've obviously touched on a few now, but to summarise those again, an agent teaming up with you two, what are the benefits they're going to see ultimately?
Well, I mean, InventoryBase are one of many partners we've got on the system, but what I like about InventoryBase is it's unique. We haven't got anyone else like InventoryBase on our system, so I think they're going to sort of corner a large slice of our market. So what does an agent get? An agent simply gets the opportunity to adopt all of these partners into our system. So the InventoryBase, for one, an agent can add them as a supplier, and then it makes their booking and carrying out and administering the inventory so much easier. And as a letting agent, I can tell you, it really does improve the system. It makes your life so much easier. So we bring all of these partnerships to agents, specifically the independents, the ones, and offer these deals. So these extra revenue streams we have maximized, whether it be internet, broadband, or energy suppliers and conveyancing, legal, surveying and conveyancing options. We bring all of these deals to the independent, and we've negotiated really good revenue stream options for them. So the idea of what Openbrix does is it provides you with income. It maximizes that income. It gives it all to the agent. We don't take any. And we're transparent about our costs. We charge £75 a month, but the income you're going to get was way in excess of that. As I said, the average take up on a letting is £430 per let, and £835 for a sale. So there's a lot of money there, a lot of money on the table.
And going back to I think it's since the tenant fee ban, obviously. Going back to then is where really what you're saying now is resonating with the agents. And something that used to happen quite a lot in the inventory world is a letting agent would essentially sell the inventory to the tenant, the landlord, or make it as part of the tenant's admin fee, the extortionate admin fee. And of course they'd be paying very little, as low as possible, to the inventory provider to do that service, and obviously then pocketing the margin. That change created obviously a change to that whole deal flow, and actually now going forward, now the landlord has to shoulder the burden of those kind of costs. And obviously what happened, I think, when the tenant fee ban came out was landlords actually dragging in their clients saying, well, look, this inventory needs to be spot on, this and the agents as well pulling in saying, if the landlord's going to start paying for this now, or I'm going to start paying for this now, it needs to be a good product that's going to protect me down the line. So I think more attention was then paid to the likes of these kinds of services. And what Openbrix does is allow the agent to still earn without having to get involved. And I mean, there's a time cost to trying to figure all these out and middleman these transactions just to make a few quid. With this, you're passing it on and trusting that you're going to earn a small percentage fee because that's your client, so you should, right? And trust that will happen, and it will happen systematically, which is then where the trust comes in as well.
And I don't think there's there's a lot of talk about referral fees being declared. And look, personally, I don't have a problem with that. I first of all, I think referral fees are entirely acceptable, and I think to be transparent about it is a good thing. Why not? If the agent, if Openbrix has negotiated a good deal with a supplier, and that supplier offers an introduction fee to effectively Openbrix, which we choose to pass on to the agent in full, but the consumer's not paying extra for it. That's key. As long as the consumer is not paying extra, then that deal I've negotiated. It's my choice to pass it on to the agent. There's nothing wrong with that. But what Openbrix does is we give the agent the absolute full breakdown of all the referral fees. So as and when,
got to be transparent, Adam, and got to be proportionate.
Completely transparent.
Can't be price gouging, and that's what unfortunately it's that sort of thing that got these things into the headlines in the first place. But everyone will accept, and everyone understands the reason. Something's got to be paid for somewhere. So if you get the referrals there, unsurprisingly, the set fees are going to go up here. So
and we've all known for years that the corporate agents have negotiated some splendid deals for themselves. So what we've done is we've negotiated pretty much the same types of deals and some better. And I'm now opening it up to independent agents, saying, look, you might be a one-office agency, you might even be a hub seller, but effectively you can have access to this revenue and these deals and these partnerships. It's not.
That's really the value, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's where the independent agents, like you said, they're very much blocked out of getting good deals, obviously, economies of scale and things like that. So the platform is the perfect storm, isn't it?
But it's not all about the revenue streams. I mean, that's in my cynical head. that would, I was aware about the tenant fee ban. Steve, you're absolutely right. That was the reason why we sort of started to work on this. There had to be an alternative because I didn't agree with the whole tenant fee ban. I think there should have been some capping, and I know there were a lot of bad players out there, but but the transparency was lacking, and I think that was the problem. So we mustn't go down that route with the referral fees. I think there's nothing wrong with declaring them. We can easily help the agents do that. It's on their dashboard, and if we need to ping it onto the consumer as a notification, that we can literally turn that on. But at the moment, the transparency is there for the agent to see in graphic detail. But it's not all about referral fees. For me, I would, if I was an agent, I would use InventoryBase because it's just so time saving and so slick. We've got another partnership. We've got several, but another one we've got is Product Care. They're a quite good company. The integration on that is just genius. And literally on 2 clicks of a button, a washing machine can be purchased, and that's it, done. All the delivery, all the notifications, the addresses, who Product Care need to contact, all done, all pre-populated. It's so cool, and that's
again part of the investor journey, isn't it? In finding a property, sourcing a property, kitting it out, getting somewhere there to get eyes on it, and then renting it obviously through an agent.
Yeah,
cool. And guys, is this live now, or is this going to be scheduled for release?
It's live, ready to be used.
Another benefit in terms of the revenue generating as well that you were saying is not only is it just the standard services they're looking for, but of course, like I said before, as we all evolve, something we just added is drones, for example, and now you can dispatch a drone anywhere in the UK to get an up-close roof inspection or gutters and drainage inspection, things like that, or just a flyby inspection, aerial photography for sales, whatever it is. And now that we've added that, just because we've added that onto our services, customers of Openbrix have got instant access now to an entire army of drones around the country to go and do those photography reports. And again, it's something for the agents to say, they haven't got time to research drones and find out a drone supply and things like that. But they can now say to their clients, hey, if you want, we can get you some nice aerial photography to go with your listing, or if we're going to manage it for you, we can actually show you you're living over in that country. We can actually show you up front what your property looks like, show you up close on the roof and everything like that, and show you it's all in good order to protect your investment.
And as you said last time, Steve, you got pretty much nationwide coverage with that, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, so I mean, it's literally wherever you are, you can take advantage of the fact you've already done the groundwork and done the due diligence. That's brilliant.
That's right. So it's any type of inspection, whether it's inventories, obviously with tenant-related vacant properties, or even external.
Cool.
If you look outside your window, there's one hovering just now, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's got me vaguely worried. Okay. Let's just summarise this then. So the key takeaways are. It obviously brings amazing and then consumer benefits that currently can't be found on any other property portals, even though you're not just a property portal, Adam. You see what I did there? Agents crucially can obviously monetize their property listings on the site by pairing them up with the end customers and registering, applying for additional services and benefits. Ultimately, it's got to make the point as well that we'll be helping out these people. It's not as if this is a hard sell, is it? These are all benefits that are going to help the people out at the end of the day. And then just to reiterate again there, that lovely stance you just obviously make, you Openbrix do not take any commission, obviously, on any of this. Don't take a click on any of this. Pass all the savings back onto your mutual clients. Which is
none. Unlike others, I would add some.
Yeah. Okay. Was that me?
No, not at all.
So I'm transparently whorish, so I'm Steve, Adam, absolutely fantastic. Great to hear this. Let us know how it develops. Obviously, we encourage everybody, go have a look at the InventoryBase landing page and the Openbrix landing page on Kerfuffle. You'll always find more information. You'll always see all the you're becoming old hats, guys, aren't you, on here? We're getting a bit of a KYTV thing going on now with all of our background stuff.
I get a notification on my email which popped up. So during this webinar, I've had 2 new agents sign up.
There we go. You can keep that drone up there if you keep saying that. Well, that's fantastic. That's good. And look, why would you not, to be honest? You've got to try something new. Now, genuinely is the perfect time of year to be looking at what you're going to have in your kit bag for 2021. And Sean comes in, just one last comment as well. She makes the point. Inventories not only protect the landlord's asset, but protects the tenant's deposit, often forgotten about since the tenant fee ban. It's about the end user for both Openbrix and InventoryBase. I can't think of a better way to end it.
That puts it right, doesn't it?
Steve, Adam, aka the Tango Pig, fantastic to catch up with you again. Please keep us informed of all the others, those NDAs when they're out the way. Adam, let us know.